Okay, next I want to touch upon religious unity, the New Age movement, and the alien agenda, aliens. Just briefly on each of these three topics, because each of these three topics, in my opinion, could very well deserve their own video in and of themselves, but I'll just slot through it. On religious unity, through organizations like the World Council of Churches and the United Religious Initiative, there seems to be this desire for peace and unity in the name of world peace and unity amongst all the major religious movements of the world. I'm talking Confucianism, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism. There seems to be this all being, of course, spearheaded by the Roman Catholic Church. There seems to be this need for religious unity somehow, and it sounds good, but I think therein lies the problem, in that these disparate groups, which are totally different beliefs, fundamentally, totally different sources, would have to agree to set aside their differences. I think that is a problem. The problem is compromise. You'd have to compromise because, Christianity is very, very exclusive. Fundamental Christianity is very exclusive, and that Jesus is the only way. There is no other way. And for you to sit at a table in agreement with any of these other religions, I think you would have to first and foremost compromise that. That is dangerous. That is evil, and that is not of God. Well, I think this can be great if the focus of the meetings and the agreements was on the fact that Jesus is the only way, that He is the Messiah, He's the Son of God, and all of what He says He is. Such is not the case, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is not the focus. World peace seems to be the focus. There seems to be this fomenting of a new type of religious thought, new types of things that take precedence over our differences. I think that's dangerous. Commonalities, of course, is peace, and that promotes tolerance and compromise. Where Jesus and the fundamental Christianity and biblical, what it says in the Bible, I get the sense that there isn't much compromise. In James chapter 4, verse 4, it says, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God." It's point blank there. So what about the New Age movement? We talk about the New Age movement, talking about Theosophy, Luciferianism, some of the works of Madame Blavatsky, Alice Bailey, and some of the works that are now being promoted by some New Age thinkers and leaders, champions, Jordan Maxwell, Michael Tsarian, just to name a few. And all of these alternative views of religious thought is what I like to call them. And seeking enlightenment is very much anti-God and definitely anti-Jesus. I looked at Zeitgeist. I looked at these type of things. I've looked at people debunking them. I've listened to Jordan Maxwell. And it's this sense, it's totally deceptive. It's totally, most of it is just terrible in its research. A lot of it is not true. And it's not true stuff. It's very deceptive and very dangerous stuff. And for the true truth seeker at heart, it can sound very good. It can sound very appealing to the ear. They say some things. That many truth seekers know and that many truth seekers want to hear. But they mix the poison. They mix the leaven in with that, and it definitely, ultimately, has a very anti-Christian, not anti-Christian, but anti-God, anti-Jesus type stance. Fundamentally, at the core, there seems to be this attack on Christianity. Maybe even so, a desire to do away with that and instead usher in something new, something different, something more New Age, something more evolved. And of course, to piggyback with that, the zeitgeist agenda and all that, is the 2012 agenda, which is a hoax, and it seems to be picking up steam, even though the science behind it has been totally debunked. 2012, not too sure what to make of it just yet, but it is deceptive. There is a purpose for it. I know movies are being produced and created that seem to further promote this idea. There seems to be an agenda to want us to either be fearful of this occurrence, or somehow, like Michael Tesson, they try to connect this 2012 agenda with enlightenment, this new age of thinking, religious thought. It's like trying to, get rid of the old so that we can usher in the new. That seems to be the focus of these things. It's very dangerous. But in light of Scripture, this makes absolute sense to me, in that Satan wants worship. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But we need to transform transform thinking of mankind, to move them away from the teachings of God and teachings of Jesus, so that they will wholeheartedly embrace and accept what is to come, a new religion that is to come down the pike. 1 John chapter 4 verses 1 through 3 states that, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world." Emphasis mine on that. So there's a warning. There's a warning. There's advice, admonition for us to understand, and to test the spirits, and to understand from whence they come. There are many spirits in this world, but not all of them are the Spirit of God, let me tell you. There seems to be this disdain for the Bible, Jesus Christ, and there are many attempts in this New Age movement to discredit it, or maybe even redefine it using certain words. And I mean, it gets really ridiculous, some of the wordplay that is deceptive and wrong, and it's in error, that people are falling victim to. Please, I cannot stress enough that if you are a true believer of God, and you have wholeheartedly embraced this 2012 agenda, you've embraced some of these esoteric teachings of Jordan Maxwell, some of the other New Age thinkers, please, I encourage you, and I pray that you would look deeper into the source of these teachings. Please take time to review them. Please take time to review alternative to review people that disagree, and alternative stances on some of the material that they present. And I pray that God will open your heart and your mind to understand the deception that lies therein. Please take the time to look these things over. Also, amongst these men, there also seems to be an initiative to have men believe that aliens created us. That's just a lie, and are benevolent beings to accept and embrace them. There is nothing benevolent about these beings, let me tell you. Even in the mainstream media, movies, I seen a movie, The Day That the Earth Stood Still, just here recently, and it was just amazing to me how open these ideas are being expressed, even in some of these big blockbuster movies. We've got to be very, very careful in embracing